morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Good Morning Delhi with Sarthak.
That is my name. That's your tune into, ladies and gentlemen, 94.3 Radio 1. And oh man, I mean, if you've read those comic books and if you've been enveloped by that world in a soothing cocoon of stories that have made us all at some point of time felt like superheroes, and the ground that needs to be worshipped is the one that is occupied by ComicCon every year. And of course, the man who brought it here after many anime-like battle is Mr. Jatin Varma. Jatin, it's absolutely wonderful to have this opportunity to speak to you one more time. The hair were darker when we had both met.
Yes, we were much younger.
Yeah.
Now we have to dye our hair.
Yes, I not so. I dyed green, of course. So that's a different matter. But Comic-Con, what a journey, no?
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. Over 10 years now.
Hannah?
Yeah.
You remember how it started? I certainly remember the Random Magazine days. And
yes. So I was publishing that magazine, which is like Mad Magazine.
Yeah.
And then we used to get in touch with all these artists and writers across India. And then somehow it hit upon us that no one's done a Comic-Con in India ever. So we thought, okay, let's do it, because why not? Because, we used to do that illustrious award show as well, Golden Kela Awards. So
yes.
that told us, somehow gave us the confidence that a live event of that scale could be possible. We did it in Delhi Heart in 2011.
Yeah.
And it took off, and so now we are more than 10 years later, we are here.
Absolutely. And it was Delhi Heart. It was a lot of very curious people looking at very curious people. Where it was actually that was way before anime and
way before anything. Streaming didn't exist. Facebook was very new, so it feels very old now.
Exactly.
It was very analog, so to say. But it clicked, and we got a good response, and that gave us the confidence to keep doing it again and again.
Sure, and there was also the money involved. I mean, you did sort of walk the talk in that sense, because we as a generation at that point of time were influenced by, as you said, Mad Magazine, which is what was reflected so nicely in Random Magazine. We were also Superman fans and Phantom fans and all of that.
Exactly.
So, but you literally put your money where your mouth was in that way.
Yes, it took a while. Basically, I was doing a bunch of other things at that time, so we thought we have some money to waste. So why not try this out? But it'll just feel good. But it, from the get-go was something that gave us a decent return and made us, at least gave us the ability to do it again and do it in multiple cities.
Sure.
But yeah, it took us a while to kind of make money out of it.
But expectation management, no? I mean, that was a big part of what because you've always, I remember having had conversations with you about keeping it small in the beginning, so that demand always outstripped supply. It was a very management-ish decision, no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very conservative person to begin with, so for me, it is basically, Comic-Con's been happening around the world, especially North America, for so many years.
Absolutely.
So when you do something like that in India, there is an automatic comparison, which is not always justified, because we are not as large a market as US. Sure. But so it was slowly building it up, and now it's obviously on the same scale as many of the American shows. The only difference is that we don't have Hollywood sitting in our country, so we can't get access to stars immediately.
For sure.
But our audience numbers are big, and we have streaming now, so that makes a hell of a difference.
Absolutely.
And fans really know what they want now.
For sure.
And we have access to everything now, so that's a great feeling.
I'm very glad to say that I've known him since Comic-Con was an idea that was germinating in the wonderful environs of Delhi Heart, and now it's in how many cities, Jatin, now?
We do it in 4 cities permanently, and then we add 5th city. So this season we are going to Chennai for the first time.
Wow. But Delhi is heart, no?
Delhi is home ground. Delhi is also the biggest. Delhi is also where the most calls come for free passes.
That, yes. But Jatin, there's also a very real danger of something that gets very successful, of it being sometimes bogged down by its own weight of success. No, I mean, there's raised eyebrows about the loss of integrity, about having sold out. I'm sure you've views on that, no?
Yeah, I mean, I faced that for many years. It's too commercial. I mean, to be fair, I never decided for it to be an NGO or, it was a for-profit event.
For sure.
But having said that, one of the things that we always used to, or at least people used to ask us is, what can you do to help Indian comics? So people are trying to do that. That we took a very strategic call many years back, and we decided that we will curate a special space, and we will invite all sorts of Indian artists and writers and designers, and we'll showcase them all the time at every show. They don't have to do, they just have to show up. They're our guests.
Right.
And so we've been doing that successfully for 5 years, and that area has been expanding slowly and steadily. So anyone who's dedicatedly into this space and has been there for years, they are now at our show. So when you come to a Comic-Con, any Comic-Con anywhere in India, you will see the best and the brightest in Indian comics right there.
And it's not just comics. It is actually anime. It is also graphic design. I remember myself having gone and picked up some absolutely incredible calligraphy there.
Oh yeah. Beautiful books. So I mean, now when you think of pop culture, considering when we started to where we are, it's everything. Streaming is a part of it. There's lots of Indian content that people get excited about. Japanese content is really zoomed up in the past few years, especially during the pandemic. So when you come to Comic-Con this year, any of the Comic-Cons including Delhi, you'll see so much anime and manga, because there's so much interest around it, and some really beautiful things there as well.
There's also this whole thing of the internet having democratized information so much.
Absolutely.
That the demand, I mean, literally everything from around the world is available at the click of a button, and yet you seem to have made a community. This community is a very strong and very well knit one, is it not?
Yeah, it's a small. It's not an industry. It's a community. There's maybe just Amar Chitrakatha and maybe Raj Comics that are a larger company. Everyone else is a self-published individual. But there's some amazing comics and stuff that gets put out. A lot of people do web comics now, which is massive. So, there is stuff like Garbage Bin, which is Good Do, which is based out of Delhi. Then there's a guy called Shubham Khurana who does a web comic called Corporat. And that's really popular. So we get all of these guys at our show.
But it must be, I mean, there's the quality control bit, and there's the heart-rending bit of very enthusiastic people coming to you very enthusiastically, and then quality control getting in the way, no?
Yeah, so our rule is that if you've been doing this for a few years and you're committed to it, then we let you in.
Okay.
If you're just starting, we first will see what you're putting out, and then we'll, think about it.
Excellent. And since finally we're living in the world of social media, 2 pros of having started Comic-Con and 2 cons of having started Comic-Con from you, Jatin.
Pros, it's just I've met my wife, my closest friends all at Comic-Con. So that's a pro.
That's... Sure.
I mean, other than my older friends from school or something, all my network is from Comic-Con. Pro is that there is a high that you get when you're doing an event like this that cannot be matched. I mean, I can't explain it in words clearly. And that's a feeling that keeps me going.
For sure.
Cons are that it's a live event, and that too in India, where anything can happen at any point in time. So you can be as high and happy about things, and then suddenly something will happen. The other con is that it's not a con, it's more of a challenge as to how do you keep this audience where the tastes change every few months.
Absolutely.
And how do you encompass all of it into one event? So that is a constant challenge for us, and we know that, I mean, everything can't happen at one go, but we try our best. So that's always a challenge.
The gravity of reality so beautifully captured, but
exactly.
But worth it, Jatin.
Totally worth it. I have no regrets. I'm actually pretty excited about it all the time.
And it happens this weekend, so if you want to get excited, just head there, buy the ticket, get in, and envelop yourselves in the community that believes. And belief is such a strong thing, is it not? Jatin, thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for showing us that that steadfast belief does lead to a lot of wonderful things.
Yeah, totally.
So that's what it is. Now you know. What we know is we're taking a break, so stay with us while we take a break and come right back, okay?